Hello everyone, it's Azumarzu here, and welcome back to Rising Angels Report. Now, before we get started, we'd like to talk about one thing. And recently, a few days ago, or a week ago, we had posted on the channel a video called Depression Quest, and we had addressed it because it's mostly disregarded in society today. And that's one of the reasons why we do these Let's Play videos of visual novels. It's just so people can have white noise in the background and hear someone who actually cares. Either in school, at home, or wherever they are, they get treated like depression isn't a thing. And that's one reason why we do these videos, we make our videos, is because we're trying to address things that people think aren't real. As the reason we keep saying we is, that's another thing that people keep saying isn't real. There's some people that say that gender is your sex or sex is your gender, and for us that's not the case because the literal term is the gender is an identity that you perceive yourself as, and the sex is something you're assigned by birth. And we assign ourselves as bigender, meaning male and female together. So we say we a lot, as the reason why the channel's name is Azu Marcy and our picture is two people. But with that, we just like to know if you can share the Depression Quest video, try to get other YouTubers to play it. I've already sent emails, we've sent emails to Mark, Jack, and we'll try to do a few other people that we know that people will listen to, because we don't know who listens to us right now at the moment, but we want people to address it as an actual thing, and we just hope that that happens. So, with that being said, and we hope that you actually watch the video, we'll continue with this, which is our 12th episode of Rising Angels, hopefully. Posting guard over the entrance to the auxiliary lab where Stan resides is a vigilant soul. His eyes are sharp, but his gaze seems to be staring at something more than the metallic door of the lab. How is she doing? The dog or the house cat? Kika says she's fine, but you can see it in her eyes. The cat is skittish, jumping at every little noise and barely focusing on her instruments. Al had to take over. Do you think she knew? That she was going to walk right into the hive of dangerous creatures, or that she was going to get her best friend nearly killed? Both. Soul gives me a sad look of understanding. Does he know my suspicions? Does he know of that foul job I must perform? If she did, those tears are rather convincing. Kika? Crying? Strange, right? It turns out the little kitten can mew loudly when she thinks nobody is around. Don't look so happy at her sorrow. Sorry. I just like seeing the hero knock down a peg. You're a monster. If you knew her like I did, you'd be happy to see that she has a humble side. Is that why you're here? So you can rejoice in the pain of that mutt you hate so much? How is she doing? Do you care? She woke up for a couple of minutes, screaming in pain and in terror, crying for someone to make it stop before she passed out again. The bastard ran a test to try and find out what she had been poisoned with, but couldn't come up with anything. What? That's what I said. I swear that thing's medical license has to be from some dinky backwater university. He was having trouble just trying to patch up the cuts. Did you say there was anything strange about them? The cuts themselves? No. I'm telling you, Natalie, the Colonel is an absolute worthless doctor. Worthless or something far worse. In the end, I had to force him to use his precious resources to try and test his antidotes for a cure. At the threat of reporting his undocumented cupboards, he finally found one. She's still unconscious, though. The doctor says she is currently in a coma induced by the chemicals and isn't responding to the outside stimuli. So if I wanted to ask her a question, I'm not sure when, if ever, you'll be able to talk with her. That is not reassuring. What am I going to do? Find the culprit, I suppose. Why are you here? You hate Faye. Clearly not strong enough. What does that mean? I don't trust him. I don't trust that bastard, and I don't want him left alone with my dog. She's not a dog, and she's not yours. Fine, my wolf. Not better. When Lena left me, all that was left of my memories and our dog. Forgive me if I want to protect something precious to me. Faye, the girl I hear you call a mutt on a daily basis, the woman you treat like garbage, is precious to you? You have a strange way of showing it. You clearly do. You should head to bed. You're still spun over what had happened out there. I guess it's my turn to tell whatever and storm off. I'm sorry about that. I'm just stressed out about my family. I've lost too many people important to me. I don't want to lose any more to something I could prevent. I understand, Soul. We're both tired. There's a lot more in play here than a radar station in the middle of nowhere or a battle between two squadrons of starfighters. But it's not right. I don't want to hurt my only friend here. I don't care if the rest of them hate me. That's part of my job. But you, just try to be nicer to them. If you could, my job would be easier. You'd be happier, and we'd both not be a hair away from snapping. I'll try, but no promises. I'll try to thank you, but no promises. Good night, Natalie. Don't stay here all night. I'll stay as long as I'm needed. He slips back into the resting position, leaning against the wall, parallel to the door. Knowing him, he won't be leaving that spot until Faye gets better. Soul never once asked about my suspicions, and never tried to pry information from me. He told me all of his thoughts and concerns about Colonel Nelson being suspicious, but asked nothing for nothing in return. I want to trust him for now. I will. I will give my old friend the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to keep being angry at him. But the way he protects Faye, actions speak louder than words. I think I'll trust him to watch over her. He says such mean things about her, but then he does something like this. Why doesn't he just be honest with himself? Either he hates her or he likes her. Clean and simple. Why can't things be clean and simple? Stan Nelson, hiding medicine, not knowing the basics of medicine, being unable to correctly identify the chemical agent. Is he a colonel who just doesn't really practice medicine much, or something more sinister? I didn't even give Kylie much thought until now. What is she bringing on the ship that we don't know about? I should have been more concerned when Soul mentioned getting those kin steaks. My eyelids feel heavy. Today has been far too long. Bed. I try to keep my mind focused on it so the rampaging of demons of my mind doesn't consume me right now. I almost pull myself into the embrace of my warm sheets, but quiet sobbing pulls me from my focus. Kika? In almost a heartbeat, the stopping stops. The mask of a hero is pulled back on, and Kika drops from her top bunk. Oh, hey. What are you doing here? I thought you'd be up thinking about the recording. I could have asked you the same question. I thought you were on the bridge doing the navigation. Rasuna threw me out. She seems to think that I'm not emotionally stable enough right now to do basic navigation into the uncharted space. Please. Are you? Of course I am. Why bother asking such a stupid question? Are you? Yeah, I'm fine. I wasn't the one who was attacked after all. How's Wolfie doing? For someone who spends most of her time in uncharted planets, I'm sure she's just fine. I doubt this was the first time she's been attacked by monsters. I don't have a heart to tell her Faye was poisoned. Then again, she may already know. She's sleeping right now. Dr. Nelson is doing his best to patch her up. Good as new. I knew it. That's why I chose her to be my minion. I wouldn't choose someone who was a weakling. You have others? Of course, but she's the only one who has orders with me. Blade has to stay behind. Serves him right for not working harder. I still would have liked to send him a message before we made the shift to deep space. We won't be able to communicate out there. It sounds like you miss him. I don't miss him, idiot. I just want to make sure he was taking care of himself. He's a mess without me watching over him. That's her boyfriend, I bet. Or someone she likes, because she's red right now. Are you sure you aren't the one who is a mess without him? Yep, exactly. No, I'm just fine. Things are tough right now, but I'm tougher. Are you sure she's okay? Why don't you go down there and check? Sol is there now. Now you've got me worried again. Worried about your friend? I'm not worried about anything. I'm just concerned that my minion is not getting the same care that I would be afforded. By either a subpar doctor or a secret smuggler? You've got low standards by yourself, Lieutenant. Try as she might, that mask can't seem to stay up. Kika's hurt emotionally, just like Faye was mauled physically. If I let my heart decide, I would exonerate Kika right now. But I have to maintain my suspicion while the evidence points to her. I can't just let my emotions blind me. Maybe just for tonight, I can let everyone be innocent and be trusting comrade like Kika needs. As I pull myself into bed, the words of my heart finally let themselves be heard. Don't worry, Kika. We'll find the artifact and go home heroes. Everyone will cheer for us and nobody will need to be sad or in pain anymore. Right. That's the only logical outcome after all. Well, I'm going to bed. I'm going to need to be in top form tomorrow. Good night. Good night and good luck to us all. I can't help but stare out the window, my thoughts lost in space. I'm letting my heart and hopes get blended into the mission. Each day that passes, I'm letting myself care more than just the results. It's scaring me. They said that Faye is still sleeping 23 hours a day. Sol jokes that her sleeping every waking minute of the day is nothing new, but it hurts me to think that I may have been responsible. A SITO shouldn't let herself care about the people in the case. If something like this happens, I'm supposed to just brush it off aside and keep working. But out here, in the depths of space, my armor has been stripped away. My soul faces reality and the questions of my actions are starting to mount up. There's only one time-tested thing I could do to recover from this descent into darkness. Time for some Marino's quest. You're playing a video game and they're going to find you. Please don't. I reached for my datapad, but the familiar weight on my hip isn't there. That's right. The crook smashed it, the criminal who escaped my grasp. I guess I can just keep staring out into space. Thank you. Even now, as my mind slips into further insanity, the tune of the greatest game in all of history plays through my mind. I can hear its melody, so calming and relaxing. Wait, this may be eroding my sanity, but I'm pretty confident the music I'm playing is more than just my head. It is permeating around the bridge. The only person is on the bridge is Kika, who has been huddled over her station for a while now. What's the likelihood of the princess playing in electronic games? It doesn't seem like it would be her style to play fake games. Still, there's no harm in asking. Hey, Kika. What? I didn't do anything. Nobody saw me do anything. You can't prove anything. Relax. I just wanted to ask if Marino's Quest was what you were playing. Who said I was playing anything? That was the sound of my navigation equipment. It sounds so musical to the untrained ear. You're on the spider boss. Alright, what's your price? Okay then. My price? Not to rat me out. Rasuna always makes me do push-ups. Sol yells at me for a few minutes, and now makes me cover a shift of his. What's your price? That's called punishment. Call it what you will. What's the price? Can I play with you? No. Nobody plays on my save file. I understood. I do the same thing in your shoes. But, just for today, I will let you watch me. I'm about to tell her what she can stick that boring idea when I remember that there's an enemy agent running around. Getting close to one of the suspects might help me. Fine, I'll settle. I walk over to where Kika is sheltering her datapad. Sure enough, there is Marino's Quest staring back at me. I hate the spider boss. You and me both. At least it's better than the flying fish boss. Flying fish boss? I don't remember that one. Sure you do. We had a fight it just a couple days ago. I stifle a laugh. We should have leveled up outside first. Maybe if you would have shared the strategy guide with the rest of us, things would have gone better. We did the best we could with what we had. Whatever, stop distracting me. Not wishing to continue a pointless argument, I fall silent and commit to just watching her play my game. Kika isn't bad at the game. Her finger movements are deft and her strategies are precise. However, her fighting style is driving me crazy within seconds. You know you could just use Fire Blast too instead of wasting all of your ability spamming fireballs. Yes, but this takes care of this little spider underlings as well. They aren't your biggest concern. You need to burn the boss off before it tries to use web sling. I know that. I like this plan better. But Fireblast 2 has splash damage as well. Not nearly big enough. It is if you hit it just right. My accuracy is fine, thank you. You're wasting your potions. I have plenty, see? This is why I can't get home. You know nothing about good tactics. Yours are wasteful. It's just a game. Stop saying that. You just don't understand, Soul. I understand that Lieutenant Star is playing games on her watch again. I think I'd rather pay Soul's price than Miss Chatty's. As much as I loved reminding you again and again about your job while you're on duty, I'm only here to get Natalie. What's wrong? Is it Faye? No. You haven't had anything to eat in 2 days. Has it really been that long? Come on, Natalie. I would assume it'd be that long. I mean, you guys are in space. You're trying to wait for your only Flora inspector to get recovered, and there's a person who destroyed our evidence, and Kika's parents are dead, so you're trying to comfort her as well. And Stan's suspicious because he knows nothing about medical equipment and poisons. Let's continue. All right, Soul. All right, Kika. Consider what I said about Fireblast 2. No. Some people are hopeless when it comes to the best way to win games. Maybe. My thoughts drift to a quote that has stuck with me from a young age. It is only a step from boredom to disillusionment, which leads naturally to self-pity, which in turn ends in chaos. That's a pretty good quote, I'll say that. Despite our efforts of urgency, our trails after the elusive ship and any potential pursuers have been thwarted by several red herring iron trails. I fear that boredom and a feeling of being distrodden is taking hold of the crew. I wish I did not secretly agree with them. How could I best explain the past few days? We drop in, find absolutely nothing, and have to return to our starting point to try again. Our choices in this maze have led us nowhere other than the empty tracks of the void. Alright, so we're going to stop here, and please watch the video Depression Quest, share it, get anyone you can to play it, or to put it on here to show people that it's an actual thing. And we will be playing more games that address certain mental capabilities that people often disregard. Send us a link to anything that you might find important like that. Please, we will appreciate it, and we will play it in its entirety if we're able to. So, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. If you don't, that's your opinion. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!